Hey guys, now I do apologize if I sound a little slurish, a little out of it. I'm tired. I did work today. I also work tomorrow, and well, I'll let you know what's going to be happening very soon in a channel update if I can. But anyway, I wanted to come on here because the reason I'm also doing this via recording on my phone, audio recording that is due to the fact that I'm closing up some of the windows, turning on some of the lights because it's getting darker now since it's standard time and we fell back an hour, gained some sleep. But, things get darker, a lot quicker. And not a lot of people that I know of, that I'm close to, like that idea that it gets, darker a lot sooner and, quicker and everything. It's something that they're not thrilled with, especially when they're driving home from work and works, basically an hour or so, an hour and 15 minutes away from where we are. But anyway, and I do apologize as well if you hear any boom boom, sounds. Those are notifications that are being put out and everything by my phone, letting me know about text messages, Facebook notifications, Twitter, you name it, emails, and so on. But the reason I wanted to come on here is because, I said what I wanted to say in the live stream yesterday, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate you guys, coming out and watching. Excuse me again. I'm drinking some coffee. I'm in the progress of drinking some coffee to keep myself awake. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys tuning into that, because that was something that originally I wanted to do just by audio recording. But then I just decided, you know what, I'm going to test out my GoPro, see if I can finally do a live stream with it. And I guess if you have the right kind of phone, more updated kind of phone, you can make that happen. And if your Wi-Fi and stuff is a lot stronger than previously, you can make that happen. But again, getting back to what I was saying here, I wanted to do this because I've been looking, I've been watching, a lot of people's reactions. I've been hearing, the reactions and everything from, this past Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning's results of the election, and the fact that Donald Trump once again will be serving as the leader of this country starting on Inauguration Day in a couple of months, basically in a little over 2 months, on I think it was January 20th or something. And again, a lot of people obviously not too thrilled about this. There's a lot of blaming going around from those that didn't want this to happen. Celebrities are blaming each other. The Democratic Party, the left wing, the extreme left wing, the council culture, the woke, groups, the SJWs, the extreme version of those, they're all pointing fingers and saying, this is your fault for this, not going our way, or this is your fault because, we had everything under control and you just couldn't do your job right. I mean, they are pointing fingers, believe it or not just at Joe Biden, for the fact that he let himself be exposed and being in the mental and frail, and I say it with all due respect, believe it or not, condition that he was in. But they also blame it on Harris for not, I guess, being the candidate or, just sudden replacement candidate they were hoping for and doing the things they felt she needed to do. The thing is, like I said in the live stream, she did what they wanted. She said everything they wanted her to say. She did what they wanted her to do. She was basically another puppet on a string. Let's be honest. That's what she was. And she did everything she was told, from start to finish. So if there's anybody to blame and point fingers at, it's themselves. And that's kind of what's happening as well, because some will come out and say, well, it's not her fault, it's your fault. And in response, they'll be like, oh, no, that's not true. It's your fault. It's like they don't know who to blame because they're realizing things are going to change and maybe not for the better when it comes to what they believe in. And to me, it's just one of those situations to where, basically you have, not just, celebrities and members of like these certain groups that I mentioned, you know, as well as members of the liberal, independent, some Republicans, mostly Democrats. Not only do you have them pointing the finger at each other for the failure of not keeping the White House and not keeping the Senate and the House of Representatives. Well, the HOR we're not too sure of, but I think it's pretty much locked that it's going to go red. You know, it's not just them putting fault and putting blame and putting themselves into this state of denial, like this can't be happening, this can't be true, this can't be the reality we're going to be living in. It's also those that backed Harris and had an issue with Trump. Now, one of my coworkers, told me that basically in their own way that, honestly, they understand in their own way. They understand why, he was elected. They understand, in their own way that economically, financially, he was the right choice. The problem is they don't like him personally as a person because of everything that he's been accused of, that I even mentioned in the live stream yesterday. Things like bankrupting three of his companies, cheating on his previous wives, cheating on the porn star who was suing him currently, and so on, and other things among those. They just feel that because of all that, even though they do agree that from a financial, business, money saving, economic, get us back on our feet kind of situation, that yes, Trump is the right person for the job. It's the personal person that it's the personal individual that they don't like. It's the reputation that DT, if you will, built, unfortunately for himself. So, they at least acknowledge that, economically, like getting us back financially, lowering costs and all that, he's the right person. It's just the personal person he is, the scumbag as they say he is what they don't like. And that's the same thing that goes for everybody else that was disappointed. Not just the left-wing groups, not just the extreme left-wing groups, not just the SJWs or the extreme SJWs, not just the woke, club or the woke culture, if you will, the extreme woke culture or the cancel culture or extreme cancel culture. It's not just them that's disappointed and in denial and is melting down over what's happened. And ranting and raving and doing what they can to try to get a petition going. Because, yes, there is a petition going right now for people to sign that want a recount. Yeah, they want a recount. They're like, no. It's not over. There's still other votes to be counted for, and you know what? They should do a recount. Yeah. Let's get this petition going. We get a recount, and then we'll get our true victor. You see that's how much they're in denial. How much they just don't want to accept this. That they're willing to go out of the way and create stuff like this just so they could, in their minds, feel and believe that, hey, we might still have a chance to get Harris in. It's not going to happen. She's already conceded. And they can't accept that. And again, it's not because they don't believe that he's the right person for the job from an economic, lower prices, situation, get us economically back on our feet and everything. It's not because of that. It's because, as I mentioned, what that one coworker of mine feels, that he is a scumbag personally for things that he did, outside of that. For the cheating on his wife, for the bankrupting of 3 companies, for the cheating on the porn star and all that, and so on and so forth. Those are the real reasons. Those are the real reasons that they are upset. Not because they know, hey, we're going to save some money now. We're going to be able to afford things, afford housing, afford gas and all that. No, it's because of the personal individual he is. And that is why it's hard for them to accept it. If I was them, and this is my personal opinion, because I can understand, where they're coming from. I can understand that, hey, in their eyes, if I'm them, I get it. I'm like, why would you want this person in office? The lowlifes. They're the scum of the earth and all that. I get it. But if I'm them, I ignore the negative. I focus on the positive. That's right. I ignore the negative, focus on the positive. I put the negativity of knowing that in my mind, in my personal opinion, that he's the scum of the earth and he should rot in jail for life. I put that aside and say, you know what? I may not like him personally, and I hope he rots in hell, but I'm going to look at the positives and acknowledge that financially and economically, he is the right person for the job. So basically ignore the negative for now, and for at least for the next couple of years, focus on the positive. That's what I would do if I'm them. But I have seen those that, that are willing to kind of do that, but not really. Like one of the people I follow on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, Alex Hicks. He does not personally like Trump. That is a fact. He does not like him. But just Alex Hicks, I could tell, even though he's in denial right now, he's in mourning, he's upset, I can tell he's the kind of person that's willing to accept that, financially and economically, and keeping our country safe and all that, he understands Trump's the best person for the job. He just does not like him personally. He doesn't. He just does not like him personally. And, one of the biggest fears people have is they say he's going to be a dictator. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Look, he says he's going to do things, yes. And is he a man of his word at times? Yes. But he's not going to be exactly that way. When I hear him say, I'm going to be a dictator, I hear him saying, basically, as he's already explained, that on day one, he's going to be like that. No, when he says he's going to be like that on day one, which is Inauguration Day, he's saying that he's going to do things, in a way that's so quick and swift that those that he's going to do it against will not expect it. They won't know what hit them. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about being like, bow down to me, slave. No. He's talking about, Russia. He's talking about like Putin. If you don't want me to, get the code to a nuke and blow you to smithereens, get out of Ukraine. That's what he's talking about. Same with, North Korea and China. Hey, you guys don't want me to potentially, blow you guys to smithereens or cut off any resources you might need from us? Then let us do our job. You do yours. Individually for each country. For your own country and for ours. Or something like that. Basically, that's what he's saying. He's saying, he's basically telling them, look, you guys don't want me to basically, turn your lives upside down, maybe even incinerate them? Then do the smart thing, get out of Ukraine, do the smart thing, and leave the manufacturing of vehicles and all this other stuff to Americans, and you take care of your own country, and we'll be good. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying. And this whole Project 2025, look, people, the reason they bring that up, because even Trump's like, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about? They bring it up because they know from a religious standpoint, a truthful religious standpoint, that what they read in that Bible is coming to pass. And they don't like it. They don't like the fact that when they see religious leaders and they see pastors and all that praying for this man, that they know, crap, that means he's going to win. They don't like it. That's why they're always, basically prompting up this whole Project 2025 situation as being something bad. And it's not even a thing. Period. It's not even a real thing. And here's why they make themselves believe it is. Because they feel it means they can't act the way they want to act. They can't do what they want to do. To them, it's like, oh, we got to be like, oh, after you, man. Oh, no, after you, after you, after you, after you, after you. That's what they feel. That's how they feel. And they need to stop feeling that way. They need to stop believing that gaga. They need to. Because it's not true at all. It's not. All that's going to happen here is our country is going to get back on its feet. Now, will Trump fully succeed in doing that in the next 4 years? Not really. Because these past 4 years basically got turned upside down. So, is he going to get it all done within 4 years? I wouldn't say so, but he's going to definitely take huge, significant steps, if you will, to the point that whoever comes into office in 2029, I should say, but whoever gets elected in 2028 and inaugurated in 2029, whoever it is, Republican, Democrat, Green Party, Independent, Liberal, man, woman, young, old, middle age, he's going to do the best job he can to the point that after he's taken those significant steps, that person that comes after him is either going to have a hard time trying to change it, or they're just going to see how much progress he's made and be like, you know what? I can't change it even if I wanted to. I'm just going to have to build upon it and add my own layers. And either those layers are just as eat good as what Trump did, if not, or if those layers are downhill or bumpity, that person's going to have a heck of a job to follow. So do I think he's going to get what he said done within 4 years? Not significantly, but he's going to do his damnedest to make sure whoever comes after him either accepts what's happened and builds upon it, whether that build is bumpy and rocky or downhill or uphill. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But again, them saying this whole Project 2025 is the end of them? No. What it is to them is they're just afraid they're not going to be able to be what they want to be anymore. I mean, yeah, has Trump made it clear that he and others are not fans, are not fond of certain individuals, certain things and all that, certain changes? Absolutely. Is that one of their main goals, the first year in, come January 20th of next year? Absolutely, that's one of the first goals, to make sure everything goes back to what they feel is the true status quo. So that's why when people, that don't like him overhype this, it's like, who are you kidding? Who the heck are you kidding? Get over yourselves. And you know what's funny? A lot of these people that are in denial, these left-wingers, extreme left-wingers, extreme woke culture, extreme cancel culture, woke culture, cancel culture, SJW, extreme SJW, whatever. You know why they're all in denial? Because most of them are Gen Zers or Gen Yers. That's what they are. They're either Gen Y or Gen Z. And that's why they're upset. Because the people, as the reports have been coming out, that voted this man in are my generation, are my family's generation, my siblings, my parents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. They're our generation, Gen Xers. And we're the ones, as they've said, are responsible for putting them in there because we have had years of experience going through this time and time again, no matter who's been in president, we're like, enough. Because a lot of Gen Xers, I guess, according to the news, not only saw through the falseness, but they're like, basically, this is the worst the Democrats have ever been. And to them, it shows how desperate they are. Because even when the Dems had Clinton and Obama, guess what? Nobody was criticizing them. They may have not liked some of the policies and ideas and all that. That's fine, But nobody criticized them to the extent that they did now. They never saw them as desperate as they saw them now. And that's why every report is the Gen Xers are responsible. And that's why most of the people that are in denial in Hollywood and all that, the young Gen Zers and Yers and everything, they're in denial because basically they were taught a major lesson. That major lesson is you might be in your 20s, you might be voting for the first time, you might be in your early 30s. Which, by the way, that's who favored Kamala a lot in the voting. Everybody under 30. This became a major life lesson to them. And you know what that life lesson was? And I say it with all due respect, no offense. That life lesson was the fact that what people have told you, have told your parents, have told their friends, their family, is true. That all young people are not mature until 25 or 30. And nowadays, I think they're going to look at this and be like, yeah, you might want to change that to people are not fully mature till they're about 30. And that's why you're seeing the meltdown. Again, I get why people don't want him there. I do. From a personal situation, I get it. But I also know from the coworker I've talked about to just Alex Hicks to many others, they may not like him personally, may not like him for what he's done or been accused of doing, but they realize that economically and, keeping our country safe and everything, he is the right person for the job. This is why they're in denial, because they know he's the right person for the job, from everything he's promised to do and will do. It's just they don't like him personally. And that's why you're seeing all these reactions happening. That's why you're seeing it. But anyway, though, guys, I just wanted to talk about that, give my thoughts on why a lot of people are in denial, why they refuse to accept, that Trump is in there, the reasons, the excuses they're coming up with. But when you get down to it, truth of the matter is, reality. And that reality is this. They know he's the right man for the job to get this country back on its feet economically and keep it safe and all that. They just don't like him personally, as a person, for everything he's been accused of and everything, whether there's evidence or not. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notification, but give me your thoughts. Do you agree with everything I've said here? Or do you see things a bit differently? Do you feel that maybe a recount should happen? Or do you feel that, yeah, he is the right person for the job from an economic and keep America safe standpoint? I just don't like him personally as a human being. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. Let me know down below in the comment section. And also let me know if you like him overall. Like, you listen to all this, accusations and, disrespect and everything he might be, that he's getting, and dislike and hatred. Do you agree that maybe it's all just, gaga and everything, and people just don't like him because he's said this and said that, and everything, and he shouldn't have, which I'm sure he regrets, saying. But let me know what your thoughts are. comment below, like the video, and until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later, and I am out.